your bitch.
What's up, Hans?
Not much. Just another day.
Woo!
Life. Welcome to
The Baptize machine. We've got a very exciting and sexy show for you today.
Today we'll have April Brucker on. She's the iconic April on Twitter. She's been in Playboy, several TV shows, and has Donald Trump puppets, which is very interesting. So
Ooh.
We'll welcome April in a little bit. First, I just wanted to catch up. I was just on the river. Anything happened in the news today?
Yes.
What happened?
So today, Donald Trump, as I'm sure you've heard, was convicted on all 35 or 33 felony counts.
I have not heard. What were the was this the Stormy Daniels payoff?
Yeah, this was the Stormy Daniels payoff, which is widely considered to be a sham prosecution. I know there's people out there who are like, yes, it's illegal, blah, blah, blah. But if you understand how common what he did is, like signing an NDA and giving someone money, he just didn't like label it correctly. Anyway, I think this gives
Will Trump go to jail?
I don't think he can go to jail, but he's now officially a felon, which means he can't vote. He can't serve in the military. He can't get a security clearance, and he can't visit most foreign countries. A lot of foreign countries.
Could he go to Canada?
Can't go to Canada. I don't know. You'd have to look at that.
Could Trump go to Mexico? That'd be hilarious if he was.
A lot of foreign countries don't allow felons in. So as president,
I don't think Canada does. I don't think Canada allows felons because of the whole DUI thing.
Yeah, you can't even. Yeah, exactly. You can't even go in if you have a DUI. So there's been a crazy response to this.
Yeah, what have people been saying? I literally just got back in the service right before recording this. I know April has a Trump puppet, so hopefully she'll bring that out.
Hopefully.
That would be very timely.
The fascinating thing about this is the liberal response, because we all know the Republicans and the Trumpers are going to be pissed, and they're saying things like civil war and all this shit. But the liberal response is fascinating because a lot of the liberals are saying that this was a bad move. I'll read some tweets here. This is a prominent liberal debater. He's very famous, and he's a political pundit and analyst. He says, the Trump convictions are BS. He's being treated worse than any candidate in history. Patriotic Americans need to realize that the system is working against us, not for us. I don't know about you guys, but I am protesting by not voting this election. It's going to be rigged anyway.
Wow. I'm a liberal.
This guy is like one of the most liberal. Yeah, he's anti-Trump.
Okay.
He's anti-Trump. And this honestly seems sort of facetious. Like he always promotes voting. I don't know. But just a lot of other people who are typically for Biden are coming out and saying this is a bad move. Some
of these Twitter accounts get paid by the parties.
100%.
Yeah, like
Donald Trump Jr.'s response. His response was, "This is bullshit." Which I thought was the bitchiest response ever. But yeah, I mean, Biden just held a what's it called, creator meeting where all these people get paid.
He's trying to ban TikTok. Yeah, pay them. It's a bit TikTok's out.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, Hans. What do you think about this? Like, I mean, even if what he did was illegal, it didn't hurt anyone. Do you think it's more harmful to the country to convict him, or do you think he should have been convicted?
I'm curious what this means for. Well, I mean,
they just
if he broke the law, he should be convicted. If like a normal person would be.
But if the damage done to our country is so huge, like, and the crime is just paying someone off. Do you know how many fucking like Democratic politicians have paid people off? That's the way the world works. You know, like Justin Bieber probably has paid off hundreds of people. The Rock, like, you know.
I don't know. I think they should go to jail if they broke the law. And they're the people writing the laws and controlling them.
But I think it has to be fair. You have to hold everyone up to the same standard.
Yeah,
you
we should
can't
also put Obama in jail as well, and George W. Bush.
You can't just single out a political, especially someone running for president, for something so minor.
This is why we need to arrest all of the former presidents in our lifetime, probably.
That's why Trump argues that presidents shouldn't be convicted. I mean, think about all the fucked up shit that our leaders have done over the past 100 years.
Obama's drone strike program.
Yeah.
George W. Bush and the Patriot Act.
Yeah. Yeah, putting Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, trying to put them in jail. I mean, the list goes on, and the first felony given to a U.S. president is because of this.
That's pretty crazy. And then Assange or Snowden can't even get a pardon.
You know, Vivek said it really well. He said the exact thing that Trump did. Yeah, he said the exact thing that Trump did is what every single politician does. He just didn't write it off as a political expense. And he said if he did write it off as a political expense, they would have charged him anyway. So it was sort of a lose-lose. They were just looking for something. Anyway.
What else is in the news? Do you think anything will actually happen? Like, is he still going to be able to run for election, or is this just like another one of those stories? Like,
I don't think they can. Like, he gets sentenced July 11th. I can't see him taking jail time because he's got Secret Service. He's a Republican nominee.
Did Nikki Haley drop out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The prosecutor promised to nail Trump 8 years ago. They promised. And they did. It's a political.
Their promise. I mean, I think this means a lot for RFK's campaign. But his main issue is that he loves the wars as much as Trump or Biden does. Like, they all were pro-bombing Israel. Yeah, RFK is too.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
He supports Israel, but he's not pro-war. He
supports.
He's like Trump. Does he? I don't think so.
I don't think his view is much different than Trump or Biden's.
See, Biden hasn't even talked to Putin in 30 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first thing RFK said he's going to do is get a direct line to Putin and open up the line of communication. Once communication drops, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And the fact that Biden hasn't talked to Putin in over 30 months says a lot, and it's terrifying. And if something bad does happen, it will be because of that.
That's probably true. I mean, are you genuinely worried? I'm not at all.
I used to be, but
like, I feel like remember Y2K when we were kids? Everyone was like, "Oh, that like the world's gonna fail." Then I feel like
it's human nature to think that. But also, this is a sensible thing. I mean, we have two mega powers that have nukes that aren't talking.
Yeah, it might end up like the Fallout TV show.
Yeah, it's not good.
We're not far from that.
It's not good. Anyway, we'll see what comes of this. He's become the first president convicted of a crime. 34 counts of falsifying business records. Can you imagine the very first president to be convicted of something is for falsifying business records?
That's insane. That's the most $20 shit ever.
Exactly.
But yeah, we got April coming on in a few minutes here. Is there any other topics we want to cover? I did want to get back to a classic segment of what you drinking, Wall Street bitch.
Yeah, this is a good one, actually. I'm drinking Voodoo Ranger Fruit Force. It's very, very fruity, but it's good. I like it.
Hell yeah. What else do we have on the horizons? I think we're going to have we just released our episode today, or Thursday 30th, so we got one more day of May, and it's June, with Giovanni. He's an Italian-American, maybe he's like a physicist. I wasn't sure. He's got a lot of charts and shit, though.
Yeah, so we need a second thing with him.
I highly recommend.
Trump just released a video.
Oh, let's play. Could we play it? Or
try to find it.
Text it to me. I could play it on this computer.
Okay.
But yeah, Giovanni talked about the Bitcoin power law, which essentially As long as you hold out on Bitcoin and just wait for like the next 50 years, you're good. But then there might come a time in 50 years where it's worthless, where we have total society.
Is that what he said? 50 years?
Well, because I remember I was like, what if you get it like 500 years from now? And he's like, I'm not sure. And
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe we could find a clip to play with April later as well.
The thing is, when people shit on Bitcoin, compared to the US dollar, which gets printed, there's no comparison. Anyway, yeah, this is the video he released right after the verdict came out. I haven't watched it, but let's see. Let's see what this motherfucker put out.
So, this is from Colin Rugg. I like the new format they have on here. It's like a lot better than the last time we recorded. It says, just in, Donald Trump releases the following video after he's found guilty in New York hush money trial. So it's the Stormy Daniels thing. This is the final battle with you at my side. We will demolish the deep state. We will expel warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists.
This is quote.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, I'm sorry, dude. This like reminds me of like Hitler speeches.
Yeah, this is scary. Is he just like leaving the courtroom right now? Like where there's like he's walking through a hallway and there's a bunch of pictures of
I don't know.
Who are these people?
I don't know.
That's not working, but who are these people in these pictures?
We will drive out the fascists.
Join President Trump. Fight for America.
So his donation site crashed today with a record amount of traffic.
You think that's real, or that's just another narrative they're trying to spin out?
I don't know. Let's see. How do I donate to Trump? Donate to Trump.
Looks like his site's working. Matt, we go over. I saw a Reuters article.
Trump campaign donation place crashes.
That's from the Hill too. They lean liberal.
It's real. It's real.
Unless if he's getting that many, so he's just Biden's fucked.
I think this was a bad thing for. So think about before any of these charges came out, Trump had sort of fallen off. Like no one was talking about him. He didn't have that much support. Obviously, he's Trump. Yeah. The second he gets charged, the second Mar-a-Lago gets raided, he goes up 15, 20 points and instantly the number one candidate. They fucked themselves. They thought that America wouldn't vote for a felon. This solidified Trump's narrative of a deep state. And now people believe it more than ever.
Yeah, he's totally fucked. I mean, the whole world is just fucked. We're going to live in Trump's world now. And
did you know that Biden said he wouldn't show up if RFK was at the debate?
That's such pussy shit. Would Trump still show up?
So ridiculous. Probably, yeah.
RFK would be the easiest guy to debate.
Not for Biden. Not for Biden. I think Biden would
Trump is the master debater, though.
Yeah, he would crush.
All right, let's just take a little quick break before April gets on, and we can review some stuff for her. Nice warm welcome. Again, that's April Brucker, the famous TV.
Get the drugs out of the car.
It's been quite a day here with the whole conviction, but he's going to come on and talk.
Is he going to come out and talk?
Yes, he's got a lot to say.
Okay, we can't wait. Yeah, so
this interview couldn't come at a better time with this news. So we'd love to delve right in. But first, I don't know if you're familiar with our podcast, but we interview interesting people and really talk about whatever. But yeah, we'd love to start with you sort of introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about, what you do and how you came to do it.
Okay. And I need my book. Okay, cool. Let me know when you're ready.
We're ready.
We just want we're recording. We're ready. Welcome to the Baptize machine. Thanks for coming on, April. And we want to hear your origin story.
Okay, my origin story is my name is April Brucker, like it says behind me. And I'm from Bethel Park, PA, right outside of Pittsburgh. That's why I talk like a redneck chipmunk on crystal meth. I'm from Pittsburgh. There's a whole city of people that talk like me. And anyway.
I love Pittsburgh.
You do. Go Steelers, right? It's a great city, great people. And what I love about a Yinzer is going to tell you what time it is. We don't care. And so anyway, that's where I grew up. And in middle school, in elementary school, I wasn't allowed to watch TV on weeknights because my parents were teachers. They said, if you live here, you're a thinker. Look at how that turned out. And I only had 3 channels growing up. And I'm so old that I had a little set, like a little antenna. And anyway, we actually got the Fuzzies and we stole Ren and Stimpy one time. And my dad got majorly pissed. So anyway, when I was in middle school, it was. Ren and Stimpy was great. When I was in middle school, my brother wanted to play football. And my dad was living vicariously through my brother because why not? And in Pittsburgh, football's king. So my dad wanted the local sports channel. So if you get one channel, you got to get all the channels, right? So after fighting with the operator on the phone for an hour, my dad's like, but I only want one. Mr. Brucker, you got to get 40. But I only want one. We got cable. So anyway, I was on my way to being slightly cooler than I was because my mom also picked out my clothes. I wasn't allowed to talk to boys. I was winning. So anyway, we had 40 channels. And after one of my brother's football games, we're watching the scores. And because Friday's high school, Saturday's college, Sundays, pro, and Mondays also pro. My dad hated commercials more than he hated cable. So he switches to A&E. And A&E has an Edgar Bergen TV special, and Edgar Bergen's that guy right there, very famous ventriloquist. And
cool.
My family members are all trying to talk like ventriloquists, and because I had my great-grandmother's sideways Irish smile, she was the only one that could do it. So that Christmas, my mother got me a Groucho Marx puppet, and the rest is history.
Awesome. I love that. Wait, and who is Groucho Marx again? That name sounds so familiar.
We might be a tiny bit younger than you.
Okay,
much,
well,
so maybe like 1 year,
God bless you. Groucho Marx is one of the Marx brothers. They were really big in the 30s. Great, 4 brothers that made movies. Groucho, Chico, Harpo, and Zeppo. And Zeppo later kind of just phased out of the act, same with Gummo. And Zeppo became actually a very famous talent agent, but Groucho had the grease paint mustache. Chico had the accents. Harpo was on I Love Lucy, the very famous Mirror episode.
Okay.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. So you got a Groucho Marx doll, and that's when you sort of started getting into ventriloquism?
Yeah, I started practicing. I would run around with it, and my mother's like, at least she's found something she's good at. I mean, she's a weird kid. At least she's found something,
Is that your favorite job you've ever had, being a ventriloquist? Sorry, I can barely say the word. Or has there been a better experience or job?
Well, it's been the job that's been the most rewarding, and it is my favorite because I make people laugh and talk to puppets. But I've had a lot of crazy jobs to support being a ventriloquist because you know how you gotta pay the bills. And I was a Sig and telegram delivery person in New York City.
Oh, that's fun. Like Christmas carols?
Christmas carols, happy birthday. I even wrote a book about it called I Came, I Saw, I Sang. The second edition's coming out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the book called?
I Came, I Saw, I Sang. And the second edition's coming out. So, because I have even more stories.
Awesome.
And then, of course, I also have a book called Don't Read My Lips If You Want to Know My Secrets. That's also available on Amazon. And I did that.
Sweet.
I've been a promotional model.
Very punny titles. There you go.
I guess, yeah. I've been a promotional model. I was a political canvasser, which you're a political canvasser when you no longer are a Democrat but a demon rat.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did your love for ventriloquism as a kid sort of transform into your lifelong passion? And then how did your political views sort of get I guess combined with this? Or are you mostly a political ventriloquist now, or is that sort of just one of the acts you do?
Well, I make fun of everybody. And basically, at the beginning of my career, I'd always wanted to be a ventriloquist. And I thought, I'm on my way. Then I met my former fiance, and he proposed on the third date, which Who would have thought that was a red flag, guys? I mean, seriously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was
You need to
so
at
romantic.
least live together first. What are you doing?
I know. Thank you. That's what I say.
Hey,
Live
it's
with
love
them.
at first sight, though. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, like really. And so then, of course, he says, I hate the puppets. The puppets are stupid. You're never going to do anything with them. You're bad at it. And I thought, well,
fuck him.
Thank you. I thought,
yeah.
at the time,
he
he
wants
loves
to change
me.
your passion. Fuck that.
Thank you. I thought he loves me so much. He proposed on the third date, and we're going to live happily ever after. But guess what, And so he said, my friends hate the puppets, so I put the puppets away. And so, surprise, the relationship turned out to be abusive. He turned out to be an idiot. He turned out to be jealous, controlling, violent, and I was the only one that was shocked, apparently. So I felt really lonely and at the end of my rope, and I looked under my bed and I saw my puppets collecting dust, and I cried. And May, you tell them the rest of the story. OMG, what's up? May Wilson, everybody. So anyway.
May Wilson, welcome to the Baptize machine.
Hello, handsome guys. What are you doing later? Have you ever seen a mouth this wide? May Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, May, what did you say? I said, excuse me, I've been collecting dust all year. And I got glugs, and not the fun kind, okay? I have more guts in me than Kim Kardashian's coochie, all right? Seriously. And it wasn't from doing anything fun. So anyway, what did you say? Well, April, I told you, get rid of him. So I walked into the kitchen with May Wilson on my arm, and what did you say?
No way.
Wait, I did. What did you say to him, May? I said, April is chosen. Sayonara, you fat, small dick fucker.
Wait,
so are
that's
you
really how you broke up with him?
Yeah, it is. And so he's like, you're going to be
amazing.
Sorry. Blah,
That's
blah.
amazing.
And I said, I'm not going to be sorry. And you got to get out of my house because I'm paying for everything. Because he was a loser that couldn't hold a job. So May and I spent every minute we could becoming the best ventriloquists that we could be. I was already a star. But fellas, let's get to the important thing. Have you ever been with a puppet?
No.
I hope to never be, to be honest.
You hope to never be. Well, it's no strings attached. Felt life, baby. And I'm the perfect girl. I'll tell you that you're the biggest and best I've ever had. And then you can use me as a pillow afterwards. I don't talk after sex is what I'm trying to say. She's very forward, as you can see.
So are you both into fat, small dick men?
Well, at the time I was. Now I'm not. I'm May. What kind of men are you into? The older, the better. My new pickup line is, excuse me, do you need an executor for your estate?
Do you ever get guys who are like really into the puppet and like, I don't know, like want to be with the puppet? Is that a thing? Like,
Actually,
is that a kink?
Yeah, we have. I was new to the whole comedy featuring on the road thing. So, and if you've ever done stand-up comedy, you know that is a MC feature. You make no money, but you're there for the experience. So, May and I were on the road, and this guy, and we were in Omaha, Nebraska. He's got overalls, and he looks like Sling Blade. And I mean, those teeth were so tobacco stained. And he said, excuse me, would you and your puppet? And I said, excuse me, my name is May Wilson. She gets very personal about it. Anyway, long story short, he said, would you like to come to my farmhouse up the road and have a threesome? So at first we thought he was, crazy, just making a joke. But then he says, I'll even pay you. And so he pulls out 5 $100 bills. So, we're not even getting dollars for the gig. And here's the thing. I'm a good girl. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I got to get home, and I got to justify doing this. So I said to him, how do you plan on doing this? He said, well, I plan on having sex with May first. And then I plan on finishing with you.
That's
and
insane.
All I could see was my stuffing cut out and me in the middle of a crop circle.
Did he sew you back up after?
Get up. So May and I, we powwowed, and May is sometimes the business manager. And so, what did you say, May? I said $500, and he said yes. And I said for the both of us, and he said yes. And I said I'm a specialty act. I do oral and anal. It's at least 1,000 for moi. And then he walked away.
What is Ave? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, it was one of those stories that on one hand, I could have been $500 richer. On the other hand, it could have been vanished, never to have been seen again, you know?
Wait, so you didn't go through with it? It
No,
sounds like
we didn't, but maybe we should have, but we might have died. But May, just think of what that would have done for our brand. You're right. You would have been a legend. I'm already a star.
So what would you describe April's right hand as doing right now?
Her right hand is doing a lot of kinky things, and wouldn't you like to know?
Fair.
So was April your first character or puppet, and then you sort of went from there?
April's the person, May is the puppet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm really in charge. Everybody makes that mistake.
May. I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry.
Was my first. And then May, tell them your origin story. Well, my origin story is I was born in Cocodella, Idaho, and I was just a little sock. That's the story you like to tell. But the real story is my name used to be Charlie McCarthy. That's right. I used to be a guy. That's either going to make me more popular than ever or so canceled. Really, she was. My sister had a Charlie McCarthy doll she wasn't using. And everybody's like, April, you need a character that looks like you. So they made Charlie McCarthy May Wilson. And she's May because I'm April. And she's Wilson because back when I only had 3 channels, Dennis the Menace was one of my favorite shows, and Mr. Wilson's the protagonist. And you guys might be too young for that too. I feel so old now.
Yeah, I think so. Dennis the Menace. I've heard of Dennis the Menace.
On pictures of Charlie McCarthy.
Yeah.
It's very. You're much better looking than him, both of you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeez, whoa.
So, but May,
creepy.
You've had a busy day, right? What did you think of the former president's gag order? I didn't get what the big deal was. Why doesn't he just, swallow?
Yeah, I'd love to jump into... So, when did you transition from... Is it true that you have a Donald Trump act as well? Or
Yes,
you use May to talk... Okay.
I do. And May, what do you think of him? He wrote me a hush money check to bounce. That's what I think. And who are you voting for in 2024? Myself. You can't vote for yourself. Yes, I can. It's called a vote of confidence. Duh. But May,
she's great.
Before I let you go, what do you think of Roe versus Wade? As if you know that I don't follow college football. Now, I totally have to go see my sugar daddy, but you boys got to be here when I get back. Because I'm no strings attached, and I got plans for you later that involve whipped cream and duct tape. May Wilson, everybody. So, but I do have the former president. I have the former president here. He just had to meet with his lawyers and probation, and he's not happy. He's got a lot to say, and he's a handful. Hello. And I really Baptize the machine.
Welcome, Donald President.
Welcome, Mr. President.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you were convicted on 34 counts today. Are you nervous about potentially going to prison? Fake news. It helps rappers with their street cred. And if you've been listening, you know that girls like April dig a guy with 34 felony counts, and orange is the new Trump. Duh.
Can we ask some questions to President Trump?
Absolutely. You can ask President Trump any question you want.
What should we ask him?
Who will you vote for in the 2024 election?
Me.
That's a trick question because he can't vote.
You can't vote now, though. You're a felon.
I'm not a felon. I'm a feline. That's a really bad joke, Mr. Trump. Well, you wrote it. This is why you shouldn't have women as speechwriters.
This is great. So I know you mentioned a gag order earlier. Is President Trump, are you currently under a gag order? Is he not allowed to comment on the case itself?
Fake news. That's never stopped me before. The case was
no, it never has.
The prosecution was rigged. Everything was rigged. And April's right hand is rigged. Easy, buddy.
Do you like butt stuff, Mr. Tramp?
Yes, I love butt stuff. And I love my BLTQ people. I told that joke on Pride Month and thought, what could possibly go wrong?
Mr. Trump, what's your current relationship with Vice President Pence?
Vice President Pence, you know, everybody needs an ugly friend.
I like that. Nice. So wait, April, do you make these puppets?
No, he was made by a woman in Scotland, and she's called Pictures to Puppets.
Oh, cool.
So like the real Donald Trump, Mr. Trump's from Scotland. That's right. But when I wear a kilt, I don't wear any underwear because my rod is huge.
This is amazing. So is Trump now? Is this your most popular puppet or act right now? Is it Trump? Or
well, he's one of my most popular and one of my most controversial. And right now, we are raising funds on fundraiser.com to help send a dummy to the RNC. Basically, we're going to try to go to the RNC this summer. And if you want to contribute, it's on fundraiser.com. We've raised almost we got a $2 donation today. We've raised almost $500. And President Trump, why didn't you contribute any money? Well, those legal fees cost money, and I'm still trying to sell those Bibles. And how is your Bible different? Well, instead of 10 commandments, I only have 8. I took out the one about stealing and adultery.
I forgot about those Bibles, honestly. So well, do you ever get pushback from Trump supporters saying that you're making fun of Trump?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we were at the 2016 RNC with a group called Stand Together Against Trump, and give them one of the jokes that you were making. I said, I'm not for the Muslim ban because I'm Muslim. Wait, you're Muslim? No, muslin. Silk, cotton, polyester, muslin. And anyway, this guy comes up, and he's got a cowboy hat, and he's got a sidearm, and he looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, he looks like a freaking presidential assassin.
Yeah, he's got the mustache.
Yeah, just total 9 yards. So anyway, long story short, he comes up and says, do you hate Trump? And my manager, Clinton Ford Billups Jr. is there with me. And he's a former cop, and he's like looking at because there were a lot of cops there, like, hello. And I said, I don't hate Trump. I only hate ideas, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. And so he starts going back and forth with Donald J. Trump. And after a few minutes, he goes, well, if that's how you feel about it, fine. And he stomps off. I've had people tell me to go fuck myself for having this puppet. I was doing a show at a nudist resort. There were MAGA people there that walked out. And
oh, wow.
Do you only get Republicans pissed at you for it, no Democrats? Or just
I get Democrats.
I want to hear about the nudist resort.
Yeah.
I was doing a show at the nudist resort. Yeah. Everything was going well until I pulled him out, and all of a sudden, these guys are like this. They're like, fuck this girl, she sucks. Blah blah. Like, they did not find the humor in him. And I'm like, you people are freaking nudists. You're supposed to be free. Like,
Trump supporting nudists. That's interesting.
Yeah, like, I didn't think that there were but then there are Democrats.
Did you have his doll naked? Like, did you take the suit off for it? Or is the puppet allowed to have clothes on at the nudist resort?
The puppets are allowed to have clothes. May got naked. And I was afraid to take my clothes off because my rod was so large that I thought I'd intimidate people.
Oh my God.
But the thing is that, we just want to make everybody laugh, and there are Democrats that get mad because they feel his jokes are offensive. Like, everybody wants to cancel everybody these days, but Mr. Tramp, why do you feel that you're a good candidate for 2024? Well, April, I am master of everything. I have a AAA rating, and I have billions and billions of dollars. And the Better Business Bureau gave me a AAA rating. Wait, the Better Business Bureau gave you a AAA rating? Wrong! A triple K rating. KKK!
Oh my god.
Sounds about right.
So, Mr. Tramp, do you know that April might not vote for you?
Well, what can I say? I've had 3 ex-wives. I know about women. In April, I'm going to change your mind. How are you going to change my mind? You remind me of my daughter.
No.
No. And how else are you going to change my mind? Well, April, you're right up my alley. Because I'm into girls that look... Well, what can I say? Let me try this again. April, you're right up my alley. How am I right up your alley? Your name's April, and April's a month with a lot of stormy weather.
There we go. All right.
And what can I say? I'm gonna grab you by the pussy.
Oh no, you can't have that on our show. You must stop.
Yeah, you really gotta stop. You can't be doing that on camera. You remember?
I do have one more question for Mr. Tramp. What do you think we've actually had the QAnon shaman on our podcast. We just think he's kind of sexy, but don't totally maybe agree with his ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But who's not sexy wearing a headdress inside the Capitol building? Mr. Tramp, would you let him inside you? The shaman?
Well, what can I say? What can I say? I'm going to prison in a few months. I might not have a choice.
True.
But former President Trump, though, like that's an admission. I'm gonna make another admission. What's that? I'm transgender. Wait, you're transgender? Yes. I have a woman behind me, putting bad jokes in my mouth. So I'm having a gender identity crisis.
Wait, Mr. Tramp, do you have any comments on your time spent with Mr. Epstein?
Well, I don't have any comments about my time spent with Mr. Epstein. But I'm just going to say, if I'm reelected, I'm going to make America white again. Excuse me? I'm going to make America great again. But you said white. Great, white, what's the difference?
Do you know how Epstein was killed?
Do I know how Epstein was killed? No comment. Fake news. Epstein's still alive, just like Elvis.
So if he was killed then?
Like I said, he's alive with Elvis on a secret island. Actually, he's having drinks right now at Mar-a-Lago. Did I say that?
Do you think John McAfee's there as well?
John McAfee? What do you think of that? Do you think John McAfee's there? He better not be, because I can't get that McAfee virus protector off my computer.
Wait, Mr. Tramp, I have one more question. What are your comments on your donation site crashing today because of how emotional your supporters were due to your trial conviction?
Well, my supporters are voting bigly, and I'm going to win this race. And I'm going to run, and it's going to be huge, but you're racist. Fake news, I'm not racist. Do these legs look like they like to run?
Bigly. That's interesting.
Bigly.
Yeah, bigly.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I love Mr. Tramp.
And I love you too. So
wait,
go on.
I had a question for both of you. April, I know that you, instead of doing OnlyFans, it seems like you're keeping it very old school and sticking to Playboy. Yes. So my question to the both of you would be, have you met Hugh Hefner?
I have never met Hugh Hefner. Have you ever met Hugh Hefner? Yes. And just like me, he likes big-breasted women. Yes, he does. Or he did. He's dead. Fake news. He's alive, just like Jeffrey Epstein. But former President Trump, despite your immigration policies, several of your wives are foreign-born. What can I say? I like the newest, hottest, youngest foreign import. And just like the Playboy models that get too old, Melania's getting her eviction papers tonight.
What? What would you? I lost my train of thought there. That one got me. I had a good thought too. I hate when that happens.
So besides Mr. Tramp and May, do you have any other go-to characters? And I also want to know, how do you develop these characters over time? Does it take sort of like a separation from yourself? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you have a different mindset when you step into them?
Well, I think, I do a lot of work on them beforehand. I write a lot, I practice a lot, and I treat them like scene partners. Like, I know this is going to sound strange, but they all have personal objects. What is your personal object? My personal object is a photo of me and my father. That's really sweet. Well, I'm a billionaire's son. That's the only time he took a photo with me, and then he shipped me off to boarding school. Really?
Do you think so? Ooh.
Go on.
Do you think some of these are self-reflections of items you may carry?
Actually, maybe. They might be self-reflections of items that I carry. I always pull from my background. Like, my dad, was big into making sure we read, knew the Bible, knew history, and I was a big reader when I was a kid. And former President Trump, what's one story that's different from your Bible? You know the story of Cain and Abel? Yeah. Cain kills his brother Abel, and his parents give him a promotion because Abel was weak and losing the money anyway.
This is great. You have like so many on point and just I guess the word is rehearse, but just off the cuff jokes. Like, I love it. It's great.
Well, when you get to know a character well enough, and even if you talk to a lot of writers, because I have a master's in writing from Antioch, Los Angeles, they can almost tell you what their characters are going to say because they just spend so much time with them. And same with actors that have been on a sitcom for a long time. So it's just the same kind of thing,
Right. Yeah, that's really interesting. So where are you thinking of taking this? I know you're writing another book, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're coming out with another book. Do you have any like plans for these characters, or are you just sort of letting it ride, doing shows and stuff like that in public?
Well, like I said, we're trying to go to the RNC. So donate at fundraiser.com and help send a dummy to Milwaukee this July. And also I have a show in pre-production called April in Vegas. It's a chat show where I interview people. I'm not quite as good as you guys, but it's in the English hotel.
We're pretty amateur at best. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you're better than us. Yeah.
Oh, come on. You guys are pretty good. And so I'm doing that, and I'm also getting a residency together with these guys. And then May Wilson and I have a Christmas song called "Merry Christmas, I Still Hate You," about all the bullets we've dodged and all the people we didn't marry and thank Jesus. So,
nice.
So, Mr. Tramp, what do you want to say to these guys before you go? Well, they're making me meet them with probation, but I just want to say these charges were rigged. And to the shaman, I'll be your prison bitch if you want me to. I'm going to need the protection.
How many,
we have to tag the shaman.
Wait, last question for him. Oops.
Mr. Tramp. He's back.
What? I heard, so it was interesting because in 2016, you were against COVID tests during the debates, but now in 2024, you demand a drug test against Joe Biden. So, one, what do you think Joe Biden will be on? And then two, what are you going to possibly take that won't show up on a drug test
like
before the debate? Yeah, this is a fact.
I think Joe Biden time is old, and he's going to be on his cholesterol pills, and nothing's going to show up on that drug test because I'm high on life, gosh darn it.
She's so good.
I'm high on life.
I can tell.
And I got a joke for you guys, dear God. What do you call one illegal immigrant on the moon? I don't know. A frogum. What do you call 10 illegal immigrants on the moon? I don't know, Mr. Tramp. An even bigger problem. What do you call 1 million illegal immigrants on the moon? Dear God in heaven. I don't know. Problem solved. To the moon, April. To the moon.
My God.
So,
how do you have all of these jokes lined up? These are great.
Well, when you're with a character for so long, like you know them. Like when I say Mr. Tramp, what about the wall? We've been hearing about the wall. Well, I'm gonna build the wall, and Mexico's gonna pay for it. All I have to do is go to the Western Union and cook up the money order. What could possibly go wrong?
I love that you called out the shaman too. We're definitely gonna have to send him a clip of that too. So
yeah,
he's aware. He's aware of the beef.
But former President Trump, you didn't build the wall, okay? Because you know you're offering to sleep with the shaman, but you're not building your wall. Like, what happened? Like, don't you guys want to know what? I want to know what happened to the damn wall. What happened? Well, I promised to build the wall, and I didn't. And I wasn't a career politician when I ran, but now I am. Look at how good I did my job.
That's beautiful. Well, Mr. Tramp, we thank you for your genius political insight and comments. You're loved by everyone.
Thank you. I love you too. He's a handful. What can I say?
I love it. That's amazing. That's amazing.
But I want everybody to know that I do make fun of everyone, though. I make fun of everyone.
Yeah. Have you ever considered getting a Joe Biden doll? Because I feel like that would be a funny one too.
Well, it's funny you ask. I have one. I gotta go wake him up.
Okay.
Oh, you have one?
All right, we'll be right back. Let's take like 30-second minute break real quick. Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun,
wait, it's American Shaman? I can't find him. Yeah. Can you find him?
Yeah. Oh, I found him.
Where?
Joe Biden?
No, the American Shaman. Oh my God, I love that. Look at him. That's so good. Who made that?
A guy on Etsy made him. And actually,
wow. Honestly, I think that's better than the Trump one.
Thank you.
That is so good.
And this is Joe Biden time. My fellow Americans, here's the deal. Today, my opponent was convicted. So, I'm going to debate him anytime, any place, anywhere. And Cool Joey Lee from the mean streets of Scranton knows this is your brain, this is your brain on drugs. And this is what happens to you when you don't use your brain. Yeah. Did you just do what I did? Did you just throw a punch? That's right, all those years of Catholic school. The fact of the matter is, when I walked in and I saw that guy nailed to the plus sign, I knew that they went business.
But why won't you debate RFK Jr., Mr. Biden? Come on.
The fact of the matter is, he's not the only member of the Kennedy family with a big hole in his head.
But why? Well, then why wouldn't you debate him then?
Here's the deal. When I was a boy in Scranton, my father said, Joey, Kennedy is the only Catholic president, and you never debate with the Pope. That makes no sense. I'll tell you what doesn't make sense. Dishonoring your mother and father. Where am I again? The Baptize the Machine podcast. Oh, Baptize the Machine.
We're not evangelical, though. Our name can be misleading.
When I was a boy in Scranton, my father said, Joey, when you have children, you should always baptize them in the Catholic Church, because that's the machine. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy. What am I talking about again? Baptize the machine, the Queen. Baptize the machine. Again, the podcast. Oh yeah, that's right. Did you just sniff my hair?
No.
What are you
Joe,
doing?
where's your ice cream? Uncle Joe, do you have ice cream?
Joe, do you have any comments about falling off the bike?
Here's the deal. I was a boy in Scranton. My father said, Joey, when you fall off the bike, you always got to get back on. Why are you sniffing my hair? My eyesight's going. I got to rely on my other senses. It works for my dog Major.
So is April your granddaughter's age or your great-great-granddaughter's age?
When I was a boy in Scranton, my father said, Joey, you should always like April. She will be a good granddaughter. That makes
Has he met May before?
Have you met May? The fact of the matter is, I've met May many times. That's why I always get hay fever.
His responses.
What kind of cocktail do you plan to have before the debate?
Listen, here's the deal. Pride Month is coming up, and I just want to say that I support the LGBTQ community.
What does that stand for? We're not familiar. Or we
Lesbian,
might be,
gay, bisexual, transgender. You asked about cocktails, and I told you.
we support that, yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So, but President Biden time, what do you think of your vice president? Calamari Harris is a very extinguished young woman. She talked me out of wearing cornrows for this here interview.
God. Calamari Harris. Interesting. April, I want to hear I don't know if you ever comment on this, but what are your political, like, who are you going to vote for in this election?
Probably
and you
Biden.
Have to say, Joe, what do you have to say about that?
The fact of the matter is, April is a very smart young woman. That's why I let her sit next to me and put words in my mouth. Just don't tell my wife, Joe.
That's great. How many other puppets do you have? This is like a very realistic one. And I sort of want to know how it works. You just put your hand in his back and
I make him talk. Yep.
Can you ever do two at once?
Yes, I have. And I will do two at once on Baptize the Machine. Donald J. Trump and Joe Biden time are going to have
the pre-debate debate. Yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you, April.
Okay, here goes. So, do you have a question for these gentlemen? I just got to put my earbud in. Okay, let's try this again. Do you have a question for these gentlemen?
Do we have a question?
We thought they were going to ask us a question.
No. Let's ask them a question.
Okay.
So, Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden, if you were in the same room and you both had to have a one-on-one dinner with each other and you had to say one compliment to the other, what would it be?
I would say it's a good thing that you like history because you're a member of antiquity. And what would you say? What would you say to him? Here's the deal. I would say,
here's the deal.
I am for employing convicted felons. And just like my son Hunter, when I'm elected, you too will have a job.
That's great. You're quick thinking. I don't know. This is great.
I try.
So, do you know where to get some crack?
Yeah, okay. Joe Biden.
The fact of the matter is, when I was a boy in Scranton, the nuns always said, if you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. So I don't go near crack, because crack is whack. This is what happens when you smoke crack. I resent that remark. I'm high on life. Ask anybody that knew me at Studio 54. Crack is for poor people. I'm rich. Just like the people that pay taxes. They smoke crack. That makes no sense. You're both crazy.
I feel like she should be hired for like what's it called? What's that show on Comedy Central? South Park. Wait, what I really love to see.
I've always been a fan of South Park.
Yeah, I just went to Casa Bonita the other day. It was an experience. Food still sucks.
What I'd love to see is President Biden, President Trump just kiss.
Okay, are you ready? Like I said, I support the LGBTQ people. And I gotta get ready for prison.
See, the country needs to see that.
Yeah, we just need more of that.
We need more of that. That's beautiful. But
now he's falling asleep.
Oh, God. We need to shoot him up with some stuff.
President Biden time, we talked about you falling asleep. Where am I? Baptize machine. Baptize machine. See, he doesn't even know where he is. Now he's asleep. I thought I was in court again.
Well, damn. I mean, you could write for something like South Park. I mean, you got the voices. You're super quick-witted. I mean, I love it. Have you ever thought about trying to like create a cartoon or do voices for one?
I've actually done some voiceover stuff, some cartoon stuff, but it would be an absolute dream to be a part of South Park. I've always been a fan. I was a fan of that movie when it came out. I was a fan of the show because they go
I
after
feel like
everyone.
you'd be so good at it. You'd be so good at
Yeah.
it.
Great.
So Matt Parker, Trey Stone, if you're watching, I'm here. And here's the deal. April is super quick-witted. And she reminds me of my daughter. God, I don't need you two vouching for me ever, please.
Well, if any cartoon production person is watching, I feel like you could, start with any cartoon, or create your own.
Like I would love that.
April, I am curious. I saw in your Twitter bio it said you were on My Strange Addiction.
Yep.
What was your addiction for?
These guys.
Like, how far out of like what was like the worst thing you were doing? Like, were you like having sex with two puppets and like one on each hand? And you're like talking to the guy banging you, or like what's going on?
She was grabbing him by the pussy, but it's not that hot. Actually, what happened was
you were giving hand jobs with the puppets.
No. What happened was I just dumped my fiance and I was trying to be the best ventriloquist I could be.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a job at a flea market in Brooklyn performing. And I was performing everywhere. And, and it was common knowledge that I dumped my fiance for my puppets. And I would bring them out and I was having fun with it. So, and I was working all these jobs to support my puppets. So I ended up working at this flea market. And this guy comes up to me and he's very handsome. And he takes my photo. And he wants to photograph May and I said, sure. And so I hit on him a little bit and I said, well, thank you. I just ended things with my fiance. He didn't understand my puppets. And he said, well, my girlfriend doesn't always understand my camera. And I said, girlfriend? Like, shit, because he was cute. And so he's like, yeah. And so anyway, he tags the photo. The rest is history until a few months later, ring-a-ding-ding. Hi, we're the casting team of TLC's My Strange Addiction. The casting assistant's boyfriend took your photo a few months ago in Williamsburg. Is it true you dumped your fiance for your puppets? And I said, that's not the full story. Well, did you? I said, yeah. They said the team will be in touch with you. And the next thing I know, I'm on My Strange Addiction.
Oh, so you were actually on My Strange Addiction. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they do? Did they just like interview you and sort of take your story out of context, I'm assuming?
Well, they, everything on reality TV is kind of spun. That's just the way it works. But, I was able to tell my story and I got a lot of public support. And,
awesome.
The thing is that I feel like I turned my so-called addiction into a career.
Mm-hmm.
And former President Trump, what do you have to say about that? I say that she's addicted to giving puppets hand jobs. It's true.
So
humans connect with other people being themselves authentically because that's one of the hardest things to do publicly, and people feel that. So like I'm not surprised that when people saw that they like rallied behind you, because it's hard to everyone has their own thing that they wish they were doing, and you're actually doing it. You know what I mean? Like that's noteworthy. People see that and they respect it and they like it.
Thank you. Yeah. And the thing is that this was another funny thing that happened. There was another ex of mine that I dated very briefly. And I dated him maybe for a month. Like he wasn't even a boyfriend. He started telling everybody that he was the fiance when he wasn't.
Oh, and then, you mentioned that.
And then, and this was a different guy that wasn't even the fiance. And then there was another guy, because the fiance was a different idiot, okay? And so then there was another guy who I had only met him once in passing. He went on Reddit claiming to make out with me after I was on My Strange Addiction. I had only met him once for 5 minutes.
Wow.
So I guess, former President Trump, what do you have to say about that? Well, I have to say that sometimes you gotta grab an opportunity by the pussy. And what do you have to say about that, President Biden time? The fact of the matter is, sometimes people lie, just like my opponents. Easy, fellas.
So if let's say someone is looking to date you or be in a relationship with you, how involved are the puppets in your relationship? Like, do they have to? Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And I gotta go talk to my parole officer. And what do you gotta do, President Biden time? The fact of the matter is, I gotta go talk to Jill because dinner's ready. I'll see you soon. I'd have to say that the puppets are very involved. It's a very big part of my life. And, and if you can't appreciate the puppets, you can't appreciate me.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a plus. Like, when I was looking for a partner, finding someone who is super enthusiastic about life in a certain direction, like that's what you want. You know what I mean?
Well, you always want somebody who's moving forward, who supports you. You don't want somebody that stagnates. And the older you get, the more important that is. Being good looking is important, but also growing is important. And sometimes if you don't grow in a relationship, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do for Playboy? Do you just pose nude with puppets?
I have some puppets in there. I take sexy photos. And the reason that I did Playboy was I have a huge male fan base. And I was getting a lot of crazy letters from guys. And I was getting some
I
fan
want
mail
to hear about those letters.
Yeah,
okay.
Back up. What drove the huge male fan base?
Well, I don't want to interrupt the story either.
Okay,
continue your story.
Actually, but that's an important
Shouldn't
question.
we start from the beginning, right?
Well, what started from the beginning was I didn't see myself having a male fan base. Really, I was just a girl with a puppet. I wasn't popular in high school. I could not get a date to save my life. Most of my friends were guys. When it came time to college, I went to NYU, but one of my second choices was a Seven Sister school. So that was an all women's school, because I wasn't like, oh, I got to have a husband in college. My focus was academics, because that's just the way that I had been raised. And I didn't have any boyfriends in high school. And so when I got on my strange addiction, because I dumped my fiance for the puppets and I was just desperately seeking Mr. Okay. And then the UK Daily Mail did a story on me that went from England to Iceland to Italy, then from Russia to China to India.
Yeah.
Then
what was the story about that they did on you?
Well, basically, I went viral before COVID, and it was that I left my fiance for my puppets. And it's ventriloquist who splashes out 20 grand a year on her puppets that even have their own bedroom, dumps her fiance after he says it's them or me. So anyway, I was getting letters from all over the world, and that's how I found out I went viral. Is I was getting letters from India, I was getting letters from Greece, and these guys in India were calling me on the internet. Like, they were calling me on Facebook. They wouldn't leave me alone. And I had never met them. And they were getting like surly. And then this guy from Greece was promising to take care of me. And so then, and some of these were in different languages. Thank God for Google Translate. So I end up getting this letter, and I don't recognize the language. And so it's Croatian. And it's this guy, and he says, "You're so beautiful. I love you and your puppets. I want to take care of you. I can't wait to hold you." So anyway, at the time I had a pinup calendar because I was getting all these fan letters from these guys. And I says to I said to him, I say, "Why don't you order a pinup calendar?" He says, "I can't get mail where I'm at." And so I'm thinking, jealous wife, he's married.
Sounds sketch.
I said, "Is there a P.O. box?" He said, "I can't get mail now, but in 50 years, I cannot wait to get you in person."
My God.
Jesus.
And so it turns out that he's a prisoner in Croatia. And he was in some sort of facility.
How did he find you?
Well, they let him watch TV in prison in Croatia. They let him have little tablets.
Market, Croatian prisoners.
Yeah, basically. And he's not the first prisoner to have reached out. There was another one. Many years ago in New York, I was doing shows, And there was a kid that I wanted to help him. He was a nice kid, but he'd gotten himself into drugs, messed up, So he kind of fell off the
Mm-hmm.
map. And anyway, I had written him a letter once in jail, just really encouraging him. And so I guess, anyway, I get this phone call, and it's from a 1-800 number. And I get it a few times. And so finally I pick up, and it goes, "You have a collect call from a prisoner at Joliet." And I'm like, "What?" So
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I got to find out what this is. This is nuts. So he's like, hi. My name's Tyrone. My name's Tyrone. You don't know me. That's how it starts. But you're that puppet girl from My Strange Addiction.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's
I saw
insane.
your episode. And my friend, he's from New York. He says that he knows you and that you talk to people and that you're a good person. And I just want to let you know that I'm a fan. And I said,
That's insane.
I said, "Nice to meet you, Tyrone. How long are you down?" He goes, "Natural life, but I'm innocent."
Oh.
Yeah, and he
Life?
goes, "My case is up for appeal, but I'm innocent. They're trying to keep me down." And it turns
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
turns out that he was not, in fact, innocent. I Googled him. But yeah, so I get a lot of that.
Wait, what did he do? What did he do?
Well, he held a woman at knife point for several hours and stuffed her in a car. He set a fire. Tyrone was a busy man out in the free world.
That makes sense if he's like obsessing with someone he saw on TV and calling them. That's like sort of strange behavior, you know?
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
not normal at all. And but
it's
then
not weird. It's not weird in a cool way. Yeah.
yeah, not in a cool way. And so of course, and then he wrote me a letter, and but he got me 4 new subscribers for my YouTube channel.
Nice.
What's your YouTube channel?
YouTube.com/April Brucker Comedy.
Have you ever done a conjugal visit before?
I've never done a conjugal visit, but
I only have once. It was strange, but yeah.
Wait, when did you do a conjugal visit? Was this with the shaman?
You can ask me on your podcast.
Yeah, was it the shaman?
That's how I got him on. But yeah.
Did you really do a conjugal visit?
Yeah, but well, this is us interviewing you today. So
wait.
He's not going to tell us. He's not going to tell us.
But you
was it for Big Molly?
I was working as a.
He knows a woman named Big Molly in prison.
I got contracted by one of Big Molly's associates.
Wait.
Yeah, and she paid you like $15K, right?
Yeah, to just go and bang this straight girl who's in prison.
It's like this female mob boss from Minnesota. Are you sure you really did that?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now.
Well,
for some reason, she's obsessed with haunts.
Yeah.
Listen, you did a good deed for a very lonely woman. And how long
I agree.
How long was she down?
Just like 12 months. I think she was super horny. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's still in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in jail. She, and here's the thing. I believe that people deserve second chances. I believe people make mistakes, and I've gone to visit friends in jail. And as a matter of fact, a funny story, I went to visit a gay friend of mine in jail. And he was there on drug charges, and he had been in like a halfway house type of program and absconded because he just couldn't stand it. And he was actually happy to be in jail. And so I go to visit him because his mom couldn't go. And he didn't have his hair dyed, which for a gay man is like the end of the world, right? So I go in, and he's wearing this lime green jumpsuit. And he just had his hot chocolate, and he's like, "April, I'm so happy you're here, blah, 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 blah." And so we're talking, and I'm like, "I'm sorry this happened." He's like, "I'm not, blah, blah." He goes, "Listen," he said, "there's this guy. I wasn't sure if he was gay, but he's been tapping me on the shoulder and running away. I think he's hot for me." Wow. I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, April, this is great. I think I found a boyfriend." So fast forward, I call his mom when I get home. And she's like worried that her son's going to be assaulted in prison. And this is like his mom's like a nice lady, but kind of wealthier. She's like, "Is he okay? Are they going to label him a kitty toucher because he's gay?" I'm like, "It's not like that. He's fine." And she's like, "Is he okay? Is he making friends?" I'm like, "You could say that." I said, "Is he making friends? Is he okay?" I said, "I think he's found a boyfriend." And she goes, "Dear God, I didn't want to know."
What would you say? Like
That's great.
you've had a pretty long career in show business. What would you say like your biggest horror story is, or just like the wildest one?
Yeah, like
Oh,
playing
God.
live, dealing with like
Yeah,
sketchy clubs.
Yeah.
I was actually almost sold into white slavery. That was interesting.
What?
What? You were sold into slavery?
Well, I
Where?
was almost sold into white slavery as a Sigma telegrammer. I was, they said naughty nurse. They want sexy as possible. So I'd just been dumped. Okay. It was this guy. He was really, he was in med school, went back to his med school sweetheart, just was dumped. Right. So anyway.
And then you were Carolyn doing the singogram thing at this time.
Yep. And so it was a rainy day, and and my sister's calling me about something, and I have to go to Long Island City. I'd never been there. So apparently around the Queensboro area on the Q train was really sketch. And it's not sketch now, but it was sketch then, because it was one of those areas within the last few years has changed. So I get off the train, it's raining, it starts hailing, and I'm thinking, at least I'm working. My sister's calling me. And as I'm walking, I had my sister on the phone, thank God, because the area started to change. And it stops raining, and there's this smell, and I had never smelled this before. And it was like burning and sweaty and weird. And I hear this laughing, and I realized, oh my God, I'm walking past a crack house. So this is already a bad sign.
Yeah.
So then I walk to the place that I'm supposed to deliver to, and this looks like an abandoned building. So this guy pops out, and he has no shirt, no shoes, and it's like kind of cold.
And
he
you're just alone?
Yeah, I'm alone. And I had my sister on the phone, and suddenly she's like, I gotta go. And
what year is this? Did you have like an iPhone or?
No, this was like 2008, 2009.
And you described that
if anything happens, like you're sort of fucked.
Yeah, you described this as white slave. You described this as white slavery, which is a term I've never heard before. So does white slavery?
Let her finish.
White slavery, human traffic. So anyway, he pulls his dick out, and it's like spotted, and it looks like an AIDS dick, honestly. And I start screaming. He goes, "Fuck you, bitch!"
Wait. His dick was spotted?
Yeah, he's like,
leprosy, or does AIDS make spotted dicks? I've never seen
this. Was like purple spots. And so I'm running away from him, and I'm buzzing the buzzer to come up, and they're like, and so this lady's like, come up. So anyway, I come up the stairs. The stairs are rickety. The carpet looks like this family of termites has eaten it. There's glass and nails on the floor, and I just want to go home. But my boss is like, I love my boss, but do not lose him money. So I knock on the door, and this woman who's like 3 feet tall, she looks like an Oompa Loompa in a Panama hat, answers. And her name is, her name's Consuela, and she's the client. And she goes, hello. She goes, are you the prettiest girl your boss had? And I was like, I beg your pardon. And she goes, come in. And so she's got this guy next to her, and he's in overalls, and he's got this long scar down his face. And she goes, this is Juanito. Juanito will get the boss out. So we walk down this hallway, and we get to this room, and it's a room full of women that are clearly undocumented, and they're at sewing machines, and they're speaking in Spanish.
Oh my God.
Patron, which means this is the white girl for the boss. And I'm like, holy shit, I am in a sweatshop, and it smells like piss and just stank, and my skin is like itching. Like, this is uncomfortable. And so I want to run. But I got there's a Sigma telegram to be delivered. So Juanito goes, Patron, esta es la chica. You like the blonde white girls. And I'm like, fuck. And his boss is big. He's like 300 pounds. He has a shirt that says Puerto Rico. It's got mustard stain. And and he goes, are you out of your fucking mind bringing this shit here? The feds are up my ass as it is.
That's
the
crazy.
Boss, the beautiful girl's gonna dance for you. And I was just like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. And he's like, are you out of your fucking mind bringing a hooker here? And I'm like, oh my God, they think and Consuela goes, the service says she's really good. And I'm thinking, they think that they got a fucking discount hooker. So she goes, and so Juanito goes, go to the office and dance for the boss. And so I go to this office, and it is really dark, and he smells. And he's like, are you going to dance for me, or are you just going to stand there? And I looked at him and I said, "You asshole, not for all the motherfucking money in the world." Because something says,
yeah.
"Get the fuck out of there." And so I get out of there, I slam the door, and I run like I just escaped a sweatshop. And, and I look back at that and I'm thinking, thank God I could leave because those poor women couldn't, and maybe they were a little catty, but at least I could run to my freedom and they couldn't. So I'm running and I get down the stairs and all of a sudden I hear, Senorita, and I turn around and it's Juanito and I think he's there to capture me. And he says, "Sorry, Patron didn't like." And he has this envelope that says tips in crayon. And it's a bunch of quarters and a sewing thimble. And I took it and I ran. So I get on the train.
God.
I go home, I
What?
shower, and my boss starts blowing up my phone. I got a call from the client. They're angry. They want my money back. They want their money back. They want to report me to the Better Business Bureau. And I said, Better Business Bureau? They're a fucking sweatshop. And he's like, well, that's none of our... Yeah, that's none of our business.
Wow.
Did you
call
say...
the cops on them.
Yeah, because this was my boss. Like, because he was like... Because this was just who he was.
I didn't even know... Wow.
Yeah, and so he's like, are you... I said, they tried to sell me. They thought I was a discount hooker. And I told him everything. He goes, listen, if she calls me back, I'll handle her. Don't worry. So she calls him back. She's telling him, this, that, whatever. And so he goes, and she says, I want to take you on Judge Judy. And he goes, you can take me on Judge Judy for my business being fraudulent, but your business is illegal. Well, anyway.
Wait, who wanted to take you on Judge Judy?
She wanted to take us on Judge Judy. I shit you not.
Wait, who? Who's she? Who's she?
Consuela, the crazy bitch from the sweatshop.
My God, what?
Yeah.
That is insane. That is insane.
Yeah,
so then what happened?
So she just kind of vanished, and we laughed about it after that. But it was one of those things where he got a little better at screening the people that called.
Good. Did you ever think, like, did you ever try to get to the bottom of what was going on at that house? I mean, if I were you, I'd probably be scared and I'd just never want to deal with it again. I totally understand that. But with, like, the women working there, like, did you ever think of calling the cops or anything?
With all my heart, I wish I would have. I was just so happy to get out of there and put it behind me. Because the other thing that happened was I was really just, like, I threw up when I got home. And my skin was
traumatic.
Itching. Yeah, like, I probably would have been killed. And it was one of these things where, unfortunately, I probably should have, and I'm talking to you, I just spilled my water. But yeah, I probably should have called the cops. And and that's one thing that I wish I would have done. And because these women were probably undocumented and, they couldn't stick up for themselves. And they got a little catty when they saw me, but you know what? It's like, ultimately I got to leave and they didn't. And they were probably being treated really badly. Like, actually they were. Like, let's not beat around the bush. They were.
Yeah, 100%. Damn, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, and then I got into a street fight in a cake costume.
Wait, say that again?
I got into a street fight in a cake costume.
Wait, can you tell that story?
Yeah. I was delivering a cake singing telegram, and it was
like
the first
Marilyn Monroe cake style.
Yep, first warm night of the year. And I was delivering to a loft on the Lower East Side. So there had been, and I'd been taking self-defense. I studied karate as a kid because we had a friend that got grabbed on the Lower East Side. So it's the first warm night of the year. My then roommate is out with a boyfriend. I just did a great telegram for this kid from his parents. He's a trust funder. His friends were there. We had a great time. And I'm going to change at the Dunkin' Donuts. So this guy comes up to me, and he's real dorky looking. And he says, hey, Cake. And I'm walking along, and I turn around and he goes, yeah, you. I'm lost. Do you know your way around here? And I said, sure. Yeah, because I lived there during my time at NYU. And I said, where do you need to go? And I was on 3rd Avenue. He said, I need to go to Avenue B. I said, oh, yeah, that's that way. And he says, I'm sorry, I don't know New York. Could you show me on a map? So I show him on a map. I say, if you're here, and it's kind of self-explanatory, but when you're turned around in New York, you're turned around. And this looks like a
Yeah.
really used map, but people were selling used maps. And he goes, well, could you walk me there? And something says, don't do it. So I said, listen, I'm sorry. I got other plans. Have a good night. Good luck, And all of a sudden I turn and he grabs me.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, shit, he didn't need directions. This was some Ted Bundy shit. So
fuck.
So I said, could you please let go of my hand? He goes, not until you give me a kiss.
Wait, are you guys in public right now?
Yeah, we're in public.
Can't you just scream?
Okay.
Can you scream?
It's a busy night.
Around
There's
you?
a chain link fence.
Yeah.
And it's kind of in a weird area. So I said, let go of my hand, please. He goes, not till you give me a kiss. So what I did was I took the self-defense lessons, and I couldn't believe that I was as good on my feet as I was, because there's this chain link fence. People are kind of drunk. Mr. Miyagi's not there to save me. My brother's not there. So I stomp on his foot with my high heel. And I would have kicked him in the balls, but I had a hoop skirt. So I took my hand and I palmed him in the face, and I got my hand free. And he goes, you fucking bitch, I'm going to kill you. So I decide, there are people around, and I'm going to and I start yelling, fire, 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 because that's what they teach you to do, is I'm running, fire, 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 in my little cake costume. And so he's there like, he's been busted. So I keep running, because he's like, and when he said he was going to kill me, I'm thinking he might be armed. He's crazy. I end up in a cab. Like, I hail a cab, I get in, and my hand hurts. I'm exhausted, and I'm thinking, Chuck Norris is never exhausted when he does this. What the hell? So his hand never hurts. So I had to take an Advil when I got home. Obviously, I was upset. And so my roommate comes home, and she's like, April, you look like shit. And I told her what happened. And she goes, by any chance, did he have a map and ask you for directions? And it turns out he was the guy that had grabbed our friend, and the cops got him a little while afterwards.
Is the same guy?
Yeah. And I was like, for a minute, I felt like a hero, and then I had to kill a spider, and I wasn't. And so that was another one.
Spiders can be scary.
Wait, so you were put in a lot of sketchy positions as the telegram singer. Like, what?
And then
because people would call in and ask.
Yeah, we didn't even know that existed. And I just Googled. We're like, what? Is she just a prostitute in line? But then I Googled, like, we live in Denver, and I Googled Denver Telegram services, and it exists. And there's just all these people.
She has a whole
weird
book about
costumes.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're about to tell another story, though. What were you saying?
And then Mae Wilson and I, we almost got arrested. And
Wait,
we got
Mae?
Yeah.
Mae Wilson, yeah.
We were.
So you both almost got arrested?
Yeah. Let's see. Mae almost got stabbed once. That was a crazy homeless guy, because Mae was doing her shtick, and he wasn't feeling it, and he tried to stab her.
Wait, the homeless guy tried to stab Mae?
Yeah, he tried to stab Mae.
Wait, break this down. How'd that happen?
Well,
we were inside Mae while she was being stabbed, or?
Well, he was watching our little show we were doing in Williamsburg. We were entertaining for the flea market, and Mae hit on him, asked if he was rich, and he said, fuck you, bitch, I'm homeless, you stupid bitch. And he comes for Mae, and he says, I have a knife, this, that. And so we ran from him, and eventually enough people saw us that, he kind of gave up the ghost. That was a little terrifying. And then we were actually filming What Would You Do? And this one was caught on national TV. And Mae was on my arm, and she says,
send us a clip? Can you send us that clip?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, it's like that show.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have people in a room, and they, like, have actors set up, and they're like, how would you react if you saw
How many TV shows have you been on?
Blah, blah, blah.
I've been on a few. I mean, I've been around a minute. So anyway, I was doing the show with Mae, and we were roasting a homeless lady in the park who was really an actress that had a wealthy husband that worked for a Fortune 500 company and taken a car service from Riverdale. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so Mae says, hey, homeless.
Is Riverdale a TV show or like a real place too?
It's both. It's a wealthier section of the Bronx. And anyway, Mae Wilson says, hey, homeless lady, why don't you get a work ethic and some self-respect? And this doorman comes over, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he says, stop making fun of the homeless lady. And I'm like, it's not me, it was her. well, when the cops come, they're going to arrest both of you. And so the camera crew's supposed to be coming out, and they're taking their sweet time. And so finally, John Quinones goes, I'm John Quinones from What Would You Do? And you're a good citizen. He goes, well, she was making fun of a homeless person, and I'm going to call the cops on all you. Goes, no, they're all actors. So this guy had to have another stressed cigarette and then was able to talk to the camera crew. But I thought he was going to take my head off.
My God,
that's insane.
Wait, so what is this show? Yeah. What will you do?
I gave a really shitty synopsis, but let's hear April's too.
Well, you can get the shitty synopsis. I've been talking a lot.
No, it's just like they put you in. They like have a couple actors hired and a bunch of hidden cameras, and they'll be like, okay, we're gonna send this family to an aquarium, and they're gonna have a fake fish tank, and there's going to be fish that look like they're alive, and the little kid's going to hammer the tank.
It's like a prank show.
The parent's not going to discipline him at all.
Yeah, it's like a hidden camera.
The owner.
Okay. Yeah,
the customers react. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like Punk'd. It's like Punk'd before Punk'd.
Okay.
It's like Punk'd, but with a social conscious. It's like
right.
They wanted a snarky ventriloquist, and they wanted and sometimes they'll have a man and a woman do it. And John Pizzi was on with me. He's a great ventriloquist. I love John. John and Andy, great duo.
Interesting. So how many like TV shows were you involved in? I feel like you have a pretty illustrious career. I mean, you've worked with Playboy. Wait,
TLC.
Yeah, TLC.
We're actually looking to do like a whole spin-off podcast where we just investigate like TLC and how they like film people and then get them to consent to it without them really knowing how they're going to spin it. So if you have any other contacts in that world too, we'd love that.
Oh, absolutely. Let's chat later. But yeah,
we could all do that together. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been on TLC. I've been on ABC, NBC, BBC, Dutch National Television, Telemundo, Entertainment Tonight, Inside Edition, Chef Roadway, Anthony Bourdain.
Pay you for that stuff?
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Because sometimes I like Anthony Bourdain. The funny thing about
did you meet him?
I love Anthony Bourdain.
Did you get to meet him?
Oh, we'd love to hear that story.
We'd love to hear that Anthony
very
Bourdain
briefly,
story.
I met him. I was street performing, and he asked
Where were you at?
The Lower East Side by 2nd Avenue. They said, could we film you? I said, sure. And the next thing, I met this guy, and he said, I'm Anthony Bourdain, and he was like smoking a cigarette and kind of like, just like being Anthony Bourdain, and it was only for 5 seconds.
He's so sexy, Anthony Bourdain.
So anyway, next thing I know, everybody's like, you were on Anthony Bourdain's show. I'm like, what's that? I don't own a TV.
That's awesome.
And so, but I was everywhere, and that was a very cool story, and I was glad that I was able to meet him even for a minute,
Yeah, he's a precious guy. It's really sad, that he ended his life because he was just cool,
He was, and that's the thing. Sometimes, unfortunately, is you gotta check on your happy friends. That's what I'm gonna say. But I've been punched by scene partners. I was punched in the face by one guy. He was a one-hit wonder. That was interesting.
Wait, who?
If you've ever heard, I don't want to say his name.
Is it Ricky Martin?
No, it's
Aaron
not Ricky
Carter.
Martin.
Can you hum the beat of the song?
Yeah, give us a little.
Baby Got Jack. It's often attributed to Weird Al Yankovic, but it's not Weird Al.
MC Hammer.
No, Baby Got Jack. But I don't want to say too much about it.
Sir Mix-a-Lot?
No, not Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's a Baby Got Jack. It's a parody song that had some traction. Well, anyway, he punched me in the face during a scene because he thought it would be more artistic and gave me a bloody nose and told me that I was being melodramatic. And then
I've
TJ
heard bad
Miller.
things about that guy, actually, to be honest. I've heard other bad things about him. Weird Al.
Is it Weird Al?
No, it's not Weird Al. No.
I can't figure out who it is. MC Sampler? Sorry, I know you don't want to say it, so we'll stop guessing. Sorry.
I'll tell you when we're off the air. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't want to, but
Yeah.
I don't want to give him
Totally understand.
more publicity than he deserved. He
Yeah.
would not apologize for it. And then I got into a Twitter fight with TJ.
For punching you in the face?
He wouldn't apologize.
Nuts.
He thought that it made the scene look more realistic, and he told me that if I wasn't so melodramatic, I'd be further along in my career.
Jesus
Crazy.
Christ.
Yeah, sounds like a narcissist.
That's insane. Was it just someone in the Baby Got Jack video?
No, it was the guy that sang it.
Harry, I won't guess anymore.
I'll tell you who it is off the air.
Okay, off air. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he punched me in the face, which was interesting.
Jesus Christ.
I got into a Twitter war with Roseanne Barr, which was crazy.
Roseanne Barr has really gone off the deep end, especially lately. Like conspiracy theory wise, like she thinks that Trump is still president, and like like Robert Kennedy's like uncle is still alive, and he's actually running the U.S. But you still can blame everything on Biden, even though Trump is president, which makes 0 sense. Like all this crazy QAnon shit. Like she believes it.
And she came out of nowhere to fight with me over a retweet. And then I told her she was better when Tom Arnold was writing her lines, and then she blocked me, which was crazy.
You should date Tom Arnold. Like, what's wrong? Like, would he be a contender for you? Yeah.
Maybe. He's got to give me a holla. Then, Tom Arnold, give me a holla if you're around. Then, of course, let's see. Then TJ Miller came after me online, but TJ's kind of crazy too, apparently.
TJ Miller?
He was in that one show. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this was shortly before he ran around the airport telling everybody he had a bomb strapped to him.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he sort of like crashed. Yeah, he sort of crashed. Yeah. Wait, how did TJ Miller come after you?
Well, he was tweeting that he liked Beyonce's album, and I said it wasn't all that great on his tweet. He didn't like the fact that I said that on his tweet, and retweeted one of my videos and said blah 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 blah, and just went after me. And I said, and his followers went after me. I said, please go after me, you're getting me more views. And then he blocked me because I didn't, but I was like, okay, TJ.
Wow. To actually block someone just means that you lost, I think.
Yeah. What do you like? How I feel like it's much harder we don't really care. So we just do this for fun. We're old friends, but I feel like, and we do care. We appreciate you having you on. Like we care, but like we don't. It's not. I'd love for this to be our career, but it's not. But like, I feel like it's so much harder for women comedian, especially the way the dude just like bash you and everything. So I'd be interested to like hear your experience from that perspective.
Yeah,
we're just like two dudes. So
is it hard to be a female comedian? Like
it is and it isn't. It's like everybody has their stuff that they gotta contend with, and it is and it isn't hard. Like it's hard because occasionally I have a booker that is an incel that'll try to sleep with me, whatever. But it's not hard, because being a comedian is hard for everybody. It's the hardest career path in the world.
Yeah. But do you feel like, if you look at all the famous female comedians and male comedians, what I sort of see is like the famous female comedians sort of get shit on more. I feel like they have a harder time staying relevant, and I don't know. Is that true? Like,
women just get shit
comedy
on.
Misogynistic? Like naturally.
Well, the whole world's misogynistic. Like we had Hillary running for president, and people couldn't get past the fact that she was a woman, even though she was running the place when Bill was in there. The whole world's misogynistic. It's like, she's probably a bitch behind closed doors, but you know what? It's like Trump is out of control behind closed doors. So it's like the whole world's kind of misogynistic in a way, and it's not any different. And I don't focus on the fact that I'm a woman. I focus on the fact that I'm trying to make people laugh, and I just happen to be a woman,
Yeah. Did you see Nikki Glazer's set on the roast of Tom Brady?
I did, and I think
she
Nikki
killed
rocked it. Nikki killed it.
Oh
Nikki
my god.
And she's a very sweet person in real life. I wish Nikki nothing but the best. I think she killed it. And I think,
She
Nikki,
killed it.
she's the new age Joan Rivers. Nikki is, and if I could work with Nikki, I'd be a happy camper.
Yeah, I feel like she really woke up because every major comedian who commented on that show said that Nikki did an incredible job. And
Oh,
I
she
feel
did.
like
Nikki always
yeah,
does an incredible job. I'm a big fan of Nikki's, and again, if I'm lucky enough to work with her, Mazel Tov.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope you get to.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Speaking of famous, is this my big break?
Oh,
This
who's
is
this guy?
Who are you? You look like somebody famous, but you're not. Well, Mr. Las Vegas is my second cousin, twice removed.
Is that Elvis or Michael Jackson?
Well, once you see, I've been removed. Once got casino security, and once got the Clark County Department of Health. So you're not Mr. Las Vegas.
Elvis?
No, little lady. I'm Dwayne Newton, otherwise known as Mr. Las Vegas. Las Vegas. Thank you very much.
There you go, Dwayne. It's Dwayne Newton.
Dwayne Newton. Thank you, Dwayne.
So, Dwayne, have you ever met your famous cousin? Yes, he gave me his autograph once. Autograph? That's great. It was big and gold at the bottom of the restraining order. I see. And so, what do people say when you tell them about your famous cousin? I say, that's great. They say that's great. I didn't know that he was still alive.
All right, I got a joke for you, Dwayne. There's a race. We're going from Manhattan to Vegas. You got 2 lesbians in one car. You got 2 gay guys in another car. Who wins?
I'd have to say the lesbians because nobody drives a race car like a lesbian.
You're right. They're going 69 the whole way. Meanwhile, the gay guys are too busy packing their own shit.
Clean up an L5. Clean up an L5. What's going on? I'm still on the clock. You can see me at the Kroger supermarket slot parlor. But I got hopes and I got dreams. And someday when they get a game license, I hope to appear at Whole Foods.
What do you call a computer that likes to sing?
What?
Adele.
Adele. Oh, I got one for you. And this one kills at the supermarket slot parlor. What vegetable is a great listener?
Carrot.
No,
Zucchini.
corn, because it's all ears.
Oh, that was good.
And I got another one for you. What dessert is good at math? What dessert is good at math? Eskimo pie.
Eskimo pie?
I don't get that one.
Get it,
pie, but
what day do girls dig the most? What day do girls dig the most? I don't know, Dwayne. Pie day, because it's 696969. It's another math joke.
That's good. We're bad at math over here.
I'm bad at math too. I am bad at math too. So Dwayne, do you sing any originals? Yes, I do. This one got me fired from the ShopRite parking lot. Okay, let's hear it. I had a sheep named Wanda, and everybody said, "Why did you have to sleep with the sheriff's girl?"
I heard Elvis have his brother.
Really?
Maybe I just saw it in a movie. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Elvis actually had a twin. Yep. Elvis had a twin.
But he had them. He had them in the barn and cut him in half with a sword. Yeah, with a machete.
Cut him in half with a machete.
Yeah, he halved his brother. Yeah.
He halved his brother.
Yeah.
He halved his brother with a machete. Which made Memorial Day really awesome.
How much does one of these puppets cost? Because I sort of want to buy one.
Well, it depends on where you buy them. Sometimes they're $60. If you want them custom made, they could be a few hundred or a few thousand with various features.
These look custom made as hell. Like, these got to be worth $1,000, no?
Yeah, what would it take us to buy Dwayne from you right now?
I want to buy Biden from
We wouldn't pay for shipping and handle, and you'd have to pay for that. But to just buy
Okay,
him.
Well, I'm not selling my puppets, but some of them are.
If you did,
if you were, everything is $1 million for Dwayne. You have 5 seconds.
Well, okay,
No,
fine.
You
$1
missed your
million
deal.
for
You missed your deal. Sorry, you almost had it.
No, I would buy Biden. I think I would buy Biden.
well,
Yeah,
but Dwayne,
Dwayne, you're worth like 250 cents.
250. Clean up Canal 5, 250
No,
on tortilla
Dwayne's
chips,
beautiful.
250 on tortilla
He's
chips.
beautiful.
We wouldn't
Tortillas.
pay $1 million for Biden, but we'll have to write up a contract. We'll talk to our lawyers.
No, genuinely though. How much is a specialized puppet?
Well, again, it depends. You know, some of these guys are 500. Then you get to 1,000. The more specialized you get, then when the eyes move and stuff, that's even more expensive. If they're wooden, they're at least $5,000. So it
And-
all depends on the maker.
And how long does it take, like, technically as a skill to develop the ability to be like a professional ventriloquist, like you are, like where you can have a character talking, and you can't tell that you're saying it.
Well, I'd have to say that everybody's different. And again, I talk about it and don't read my lips. Everybody's different, but I've been doing this since I've been 13. And,
Right.
you know, and everybody's different. And so, Dwayne, what do you think? Well, I think 250 for tortilla chips. What I think is that I'm waiting for my big break, and I'm a professional singer. You're a professional singer. Let me tell you about the time that I won the talent contest in the Tri-County Fair. The Tri-County Fair against Twyla the Singing Pig. So you outsung Twyla. No, there were only 2 of us competing, and she got laryngitis. I see.
If you had got an offer to just do like porn with puppets, would you do it?
My God.
Depends on how much money. Let's talk about money.
Well,
As a
you
matter
just
of
said
fact-
you wouldn't sell a puppet. They're like, so yeah, how much money would it take?
No, but I feel like especially with May, there's definitely a group of guys who would be into the kink. I mean, you know,
Well,
like
I'd
May
have to,
says sexual stuff. It sort of made me be like, whoa, you know.
well, I'd have to think about it. But how are things with your agent Morty, Dwayne? Well, they were a little slow,
Morty.
but then he got paroled.
Oh
So
shit.
so Morty
no
would
more
have to
conjugal
negotiate
visits.
so Morty would have to negotiate that contract.
Interesting.
Huh.
Interesting.
We're more interested in creating the TLC documentary spin-off series called Baptize This
that would
That-
be great.
K8 or something like that. I don't know. But you know,
Yeah,
you
that
know
would be
where I'm going with
awesome.
that. Yeah. Baptize
Yeah,
this
well-
addiction, bitch.
April, can you shout out all of your books and like where to find you? This has been an awesome we do have to wrap it up a bit. We've been talking for like an hour and a half. This has been
Yes,
absolutely
thank you.
amazing.
Yeah, and we'd love to have you
don't-
back maybe with another
Absolutely.
guest. Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
we'd
be
love for you
awesome.
to shout out your books and your
Don't read my lips.
social media.
Don't read my lips. Find me on I'm on Instagram under the April Brucker, Twitter under April Brucker, YouTube.com/the April Brucker. Donate to my fundraiser. Help send a dummy to Milwaukee. And
Hell yeah.
and Dwayne,
Help
do
send
you
a
want to
dummy
take
to
us out?
Milwaukee.
Dunkershane, darling, Dunkershane. Thank you to Baptize the Machine for having us on again. Though
Thank
we
you.
go
Thank
on
you,
our
April.
separate ways, still
Right
the
there.
memory stays for always. My heart says, Dunkershane, conjugal visit, Dunkershane. We knew that.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, April.
Thanks. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
amazing.
listen. We're gonna do a song called Ohio.
And I sing to the ones within me, and I sing to the ones without. As my river flows down the train tracks, all I know is you want the spout, the only spout.
I just really want to go to Ohio. It's beautiful. There's cows